Well, the Waltons went more than we did. They did a lot more than we did.
Well, they were a lot closer, too. Utah's a lot closer. Phew. That was craziness. So you didn't know your grandparents, the Vanns, were they already dead when you were growing up, or?
I knew my grandmother Vann, and I just thought she was big, tall, and she wore had on long black. Robert Vann said she had spots like I have, so that's where I got them from Grandma Vann. But I didn't know her that well, but I just knew her, because I was one of the few that would go with Daddy to Abbeyville. Edith wouldn't go, she couldn't stand it. They want to hug and kiss us, and Edith don't want that hugging and kissing.
But you did.
I did. Folks didn't wear them. It was a great gift so far as she was concerned, but I'm sure we tore it up. We had sun hats every summer though. We always had a straw summer hat.
Keep out of the sun.
Yeah.
Now, what about Mary Owens' name? Who was she named after?
Daddy's sister, who came and said Mother was pregnant with May, and Daddy was sitting on the front porch on Sunday morning having had salt fish for breakfast. Y'all know what salt fish are? It's a dried fish. You know, a lot of folks ate it. Mama Kate cooked it, but Mother cooked it for Daddy. She cooked chicken, steak for breakfast, and she said he thought nothing of bringing a drummer, is what they call the men that sold them stuff at the store, for home for breakfast.
Nanny used to do that, didn't she?
And cook breakfast for him. But anyhow, he had eaten a big breakfast, which he always ate a big whatever he ate, and was sitting on the front porch and had a heart attack, I guess. And I was in Dothan with Aunt Blanche Solomon's sister. She had lost her husband, and she had a daughter, Sybil, who died sometime this past year. And her daughter, Sybil's daughter, married somebody in California, and they separated, and she moved back here, and she volunteered down at Landmark Park and became a good friend of Sid's. That was funny, but I had spent the weekend with Sybil, and they brought me home. It was dark, and this big black car was in front of my house. And I had no idea what happened, but the 13th, October something.
Okay.
After that, so maybe 6 weeks he might have lived. But he got better, and he thought his teeth had bad teeth, and of course didn't have the money to have them fixed. I guess he had a brother-in-law who was a dentist, and Mother had a first cousin who was a dentist. But he went to her first cousin and had all of what he had in his mouth pulled. Because as he lay in the bed of patient, I took what we call pullikins, and it was little bitty. Daddy used them to pull pig's teeth. Have you ever pulled a pig's tooth?
No, ma'am.
I don't know why.
I know pigs will have fangs.
Well, for some reason he had them, and he would sterilize them and keep them in a drawer at home and pull our teeth with them, baby teeth. But then what was I going to tell him? Oh, I got bone spicules, and Sam said he did too, out of his mouth. He'd feel a little bit of the root of the tooth that broke when he had them pulled. And of course, he never got out of the bed.
But he thought the teeth were what was causing his problem?
That's what he thought, and he knew he had some bad teeth. And he just went up there and had them all pulled at one time. He might not have had 10, and he might have had, I don't know how many he had, but what he had pulled. Who farmed with him. Some of them farmed on halves, and I don't know how that was.
Quarters.
But they came up and sat on the front porch, and he was in the guest room. Yes, we had a guest room, even though we had 8 children. We had a room that we kept open for company, and it became Jack's room when he got up big. And he was packing his trunk to go to college at Auburn, and went on to Auburn. After Daddy died, he still went to college, thank God. But anyhow, some of the folks that lived on the farm would come to a window that was right by his bed in the front room over there. And Mother thought they killed him, she said. They worried him to death. Call her, come and talk to him about the farm, which they had to do, all right. But she thought they killed him.
Just too much on
And
him.
I remember she didn't want the undertaker to take him out of the house to embalm him. She didn't want him to leave the house. And I remember her best friend that lived down the street from her came back. She was in one bed. We had 4 double beds, a baby bed, 3 double beds, and a single bed in the sleeping porch, and 9 windows with nothing but shades, no drapers or anything. But this was at night when he died, and Miss Alice Davis came in there and said, Kate, they want to take him to Dothan. They say they can do a much better job on him. What that lady did.
All those babies. So she had Mary Owens a few months later.
She had May on January the 8th after he died, October. Did he die October the 31st? I'm not sure.
I don't know
But
either. We'll look it
in
up.
the 30s. Or it might have been 1933 that he died.
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't back it up.
We've got it written down. I'll have to check and see.
Oh yeah, I know. We've got records of it, and I used to could tell you just like that, but I can't anymore. I can't even tell you when she died.
So Mary Owens, was her name Mary Vann, and then she married somebody named Owens, or how was her name Mary Owens?
Aunt Mary Vann married Judge Haston Owens.
Okay.